Hey y'all, and welcome to my vlog. My name is Erin, and this is World Building 2.0 Medicine. I've talked about this in the past, and I will link all the relevant videos in the description below. Today, I'm just approaching and covering some of the aspects that got missed before. Number 1, accessibility. Even in the best intentioned societies, there's probably going to be people who don't have access to the same level of care as others, or to the care that they specifically need. This could be for a variety of reasons. Maybe they live in a very isolated community. Maybe the care that they need is not readily available. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Or maybe the care is available but is for some reason restricted. Poverty, bigotry, lack of resources, general inaccessibility can all be factors in preventing someone from getting the care that they need. Does the community that your characters inhabit have access to surgeons, therapists, physicians, nurses, etc.? If your characters are traveling and something happens, how are they going to manage it? Accessibility in general is also important to consider. If your characters have any kind of physical disability, how easy is it for them to navigate the world? Does society make accommodations for them? Number 2, medication. What types of medications are available in your world? How much work do people have to go through to get their remedies? Do you have dedicated pharmacists and apothecaries that have pre-made remedies for ailments? Or do people have to go and harvest the herbs and make everything themselves? How effective are the remedies for what your characters are going to need them for? If your characters have more complex medical needs, do they have access to medication to manage it? How would your world deal with diabetes or heart disease or any number of things that your characters could be living with? If you have a character that has more complex medical needs and your world is not able to provide for them, be sure that you understand what that untreated condition is going to be like. If you want to give your world more advanced medicine, that is totally plausible. You don't have to be entirely reliant on teas and herbs for your characters to get relief. If you want there to be painkiller tablets or allergy meds or whatever, you can do that. Even if you want to have lower tech levels in some areas, that doesn't mean that you can't have more advanced medical care elsewhere. Number 3, types of medical care. There are plenty of options to choose from in addition to the standard physicians and healers that usually pop up in fantasy. Psychotherapy, physiotherapy, chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, nutrition, traditional and folk medicine can all assist with the various needs that your characters might have. While some traditional medicines could be rather deadly, a lot of them were actually pretty effective depending on what was going on. If you want to have surgeons in your story, remember that not all ancient surgery was just straight up butchery. The Islamic Empire had a surgical kit that is extremely similar to the modern day version. It is super plausible for you to have advanced medical care techniques and tools in your story if you want it. If your characters have been injured or they have a physical disability, there is a lot of options that you can incorporate when it comes to their care. Number 4, quality of care. Anyone who has ever needed medical care can tell you that there are some shitty doctors who don't give 2 fucks about their patients. You can also have amazing and compassionate doctors and medical staff that push for top quality care. If one of your characters gets hurt, what should they expect when they're receiving care? Are the people treating them fully trained? If something goes wrong or they're mistreated, what can they do? Number 5, medical professionals and training. What training do the people administering medical care receive? Some countries like Norway give first aid training to all of their citizens so that they are prepared in an emergency. If you're creating a fantasy world that has a lot of isolated communities, it would not be implausible for everyone to be able to administer basic levels of care. What type of schooling is available to those who want to practice medicine? Is training even required? And are there any restrictions on who is allowed to practice? Number 6, spirituality and magic. In a lot of places, spirituality goes hand in hand with healing. If your society has folk healing traditions or gods of healing, or faith healers, consider how those might be integrated into the medical care. Are they effective in the world that you created? Can you petition a god or spirit to heal you or another person? What are the limitations of healing magic both for the healer and the healed? Number 7, prevention. Vaccinate your children. Just like in our world, your fantasy world can have preventative measures to make sure that the population is not keeling over and dying from diseases when they don't have to. Initial inoculations were pretty rudimentary, so it's not implausible at all for your world to have figured out how to use them for some diseases. In addition to vaccinations, there's lots of options for preventative medicines, some of which work and some of which are mostly just for peace of mind. Do you have things like condoms in your world to prevent the spread of STIs? If you have a character with a penis and a character with a functioning uterus going to the bone zone, you'll want to consider some birth control options if the purpose of their copulation is not to increase the population. Number 8. Social attitudes and characters. Do any of your characters have any physical or mental health conditions? What is the societal view of those conditions? How does it impact their life? How do your characters feel about those conditions? Do they have a proper diagnosis? Are they trying to figure out, or are they just kind of flailing and trying to deal with the symptoms as they come? Do your characters personally have access to the medical care that they need? What has been their experience with the conditions and the treatment that they've received? How does it inform their mindset and their behaviors? If you're going to severely injure your characters, as we authors tend to do, be mindful of how that injury is going to carry forward into the future with your character. If you don't have magical healing at your disposal, then your characters could develop chronic pain, limited mobility, and any number of other symptoms associated. If you shoot your characters with an arrow, or hit them with a battle axe, or toss them off a cliff, that's gonna fuck them up. The medical and magical systems that you have developed will determine just how fucked up those characters are and how fucked up they will remain. Be mindful of the roles that you put any disabled or mentally ill characters into, and be sure that your internal biases are not leading you to put them into some harmful stereotypes. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you'd like to be notified as soon as I upload, then ring that bell. All my social media links will be in the description below. Both of my books, Olympian Confessions, Hades and Persephone, and Olympian Confessions, Hera, are available now in ebook and paperback. If you would like your manuscript critiqued by me, you can check out my critique service on my website. If you've enjoyed my content, consider being part of my Patreon family, and I'll see you all next week with another video. Bye! Do your characters personally have access? Oh, grace and poise. Do you wanna be in a video? Look, you're on TV. No, you came to see me. You are so cute and I love you so much. Don't make that face, I love you.